Hi guys, hope you're well. So in today's video, I'm just going to touch on some ways of tracking your progress when it comes to fat loss and the reasons why. So as you can see, 3 very simple options you can do at home. Scale weight, tape measure, and pictures. And over the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to talk about each of those. So these little bad boys, the scales, quite a controversial bit of kit. You've got people telling you never to weigh yourself and ignore them completely. You've got people weighing themselves every single day. I like to use these with all my clients. And I would advise you, if fat loss is your goal, to use them as well. If a client doesn't want weighing, then I won't weigh them. We'll use other methods mentioned. But it's still a very, very good way of measuring if you are going in the right direction. Just a basic guide, once a week, first thing in the morning, after a toilet visit, and naked. That will be closest to your natural weight you can get. Do not weigh yourself first thing in the morning and then continue to weigh yourself during the day. You will be heavier. You've drank water, you've eaten food, etc. So just don't do that because it'll mess your head up completely. Now, obviously I've touched earlier about there are other methods, and you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. It's never really in an equal ratio. Building muscle is a lot harder than losing body fat. So, although sometimes it may be slow, and some of these other methods may show bigger progress, if fat loss is your goal, then more often than not, in all the clients I've seen now, and I've helped a lot of people lose body fat, the scales will be coming down. Just one thing to think about for females, around your menstrual cycle, your weight will possibly maintain or even go up. So you need to consider that. Just be aware that it's going to happen and don't let it freak you out. I've had clients with over half a stone of weight gain around their menstrual cycle, and then a week later or 2 weeks later, all that weight's dropped off. So that's just something to bear in mind with scale weight. If the scales aren't moving and you've got a lot of weight to lose, you obviously need to look at your diet and your exercise. So when clients come to me with a poor relationship with the scales, and we put them in a calorie deficit, we speak to them about their diet, whether it's counting calories or using a habit-based approach, and we get them exercising regularly, well, guess what happens? The scale weight comes down. So more often than not, it's not the scale's fault, it's just that you haven't got the right things in place to be progressing the way you do. So tracking method number 2, the tape measure. So I know I touched upon how the scales should in theory be coming down. It doesn't happen for everyone. So this is a great way of, again, just showing any progress. I've had clients where the scales haven't moved or very slowly, yet you see massive changes when it comes to putting a tape measure around you. Just some basic guides. The waist measurement, I like to use the belly button. It doesn't move, it's there all the time, and it's just an accurate way of measuring the waist area. The hips, choose the widest point on yourself. So if you turn around, you've got a big bum, go around the widest part of your bum and your hips. If you want to do your arm, if like me, you've got a spot or a freckle there, I'd go around that, or just measure mid bicep and go around there. Same for the legs. And then if you want to go around your chest, if you've got big juicy nipples like me, just go around the nipple line, and there you've just got some accurate reading points to take the measurements. I do it every 4 weeks with clients. You can do it every 2 to 3 if you want. It's really up to you. Sometimes if I do it less than every 4 weeks, it will be because maybe the scales aren't changing. So if I'm there on week 2 with a client and the scales aren't changing, we'll just put a tape measure around and see where we are. If the tape measure is saying no progress, then obviously we need to make some changes. So the final tracking point is pictures. I'd have my phone in my hand now, but I've only got one. I'm not a drug dealer. So I've had clients where even though they've lost a lot of weight, the scales are showing great progress. I've put a tape measure around them. That's shown amazing progress. In their head, they're still back where they were on week 1. What they see in the mirror is that old version of them, and they just beating themselves up thinking they're never going to change. We've then done some before and after pictures where it's at week 4, week 8, whenever we do them, and they can visually see the before and after picture and the massive changes they've made. They suddenly burst out crying and thinking everything's amazing. I would advise everyone to do the same. It's always good to have something visual in front of you to just show how well you are doing. Again, some basic guidelines: front on, side on, back and side. Don't breathe in, don't tense, just make it a very normal, natural photo. Try and smile, because if you show them to people, you want to have a smile on your face. Make sure there's neutral lighting, you don't want a lot of shadows, you don't want lighting ruining it. And then you can use certain apps. I use an app called Photo Collage, I think it is, but there's various apps you can use to put them photos together. So there you go, guys. There's your 3 tracking methods. You can do it very simply at home on your own, or if you have a trainer and they're not doing it, I would ask them if they can start doing that with you. I wouldn't say any one is better than the other. If you only want to do one, then great. But as hopefully you can probably tell from the video, doing a variety of all 3 over a certain period of time will give you a much better idea of how you are progressing. And most importantly, if you're not progressing, then you know you need to make changes, whether that be with the amount of calories you're consuming from a nutritional point of view, the amount of sessions you do in the gym, or look at your activity away from the gym. Hope that helps. Have a great day. Bye.